Welcome back to my channel where I discuss taboo topics. This is my channel where I can discuss things like depression, anxiety, and living with chronic pain. And it's because I have always been taught not to talk about certain things. They were called the taboo topics. You just never brought them up, and this is my channel where I will discuss those. And it also helps people realize that they're not alone when it comes to these mental health issues or chronic pain issues. So, if you're interested in listening to me talk about empathy, which is what we will discuss today in this video, please stay tuned. And if you do like talking about taboo topics and learning about these things, please like and subscribe to my page. I really wanted to talk about empathy because I am definitely someone who is empathetic, and this has been a very extremely hard year for anyone who is an empath. With everything that's going on, it's not just affecting one person, it's affecting the whole world. Being in quarantine and not being able to see your family, and I can't imagine what children are going through not being able to go to school. And then, of course, there's the healthcare workers who have to be helping those who have COVID, but yet be in fear of getting it themselves. And a lot of people have lost loved ones. So it's definitely been a 2020 that everyone is never going to forget. And I know a lot of people have gone through a lot of things. And for empaths, we have been absorbing everyone's emotions because that's what it is. You take in other people's energy, and it's been exhausting for those who are empathetic because they're not only feeling their own emotions, but they're feeling the emotions of others. So I can say that this has probably been one of the roughest years for me. But I'm here and I made it. So this is definitely something that I'm very passionate about and I want to share with you. The article I am using for reference is 10 Traits Empathetic People Share, and this is from a website called Psychology Today. It just explains, of course, the traits of empathetic people and basically will tell you if you are someone who is empathetic. So the first trait is empaths are highly sensitive. Empaths are naturally giving, spiritually open, and good listeners. If you want heart, empaths have got it. Through thick and thin, these world-class nurturers will be there for you. But they can easily have their feelings hurt too. Empaths are often told they are too sensitive and need to toughen up. The phrase too sensitive has definitely been given to me growing up. I was always told that I'm just too sensitive, and I always would cry. I cry so much, I still do. And the problem with that is I can't really express what it is that was making me upset. And then as I got older, I come to realize that I wasn't just feeling my emotions, I was feeling other people's emotions. And I was so worried about other people. I could tell whenever someone was in a bad mood or someone was upset because I could feel it in my guts. And I just wanted to reach out to them and help them. And that did lead to me being told you're just too sensitive and you need to toughen up. And I know it's a generational thing. You know, my dad's generation and my grandpa's generation, we're just always told you just got to push through it. In this case, it's not something that you can just push through. It's something that you definitely have to face, and you also have to just have time for yourself. The next trait is empaths absorb other people's emotions. Empaths are highly attuned to other people's moods, good and bad. They feel everything, sometimes to an extreme. They take on negativity such as anger or anxiety, which can be exhausting for them. If they are around peace and love, though, their bodies take these on and flourish. Just like I said before, I absorb other people's emotion. If I can feel someone is angry, I tend to get angry because I just take it on. It's something in their energy that is just given to me. I guess they fill my cup with their mood, and I don't have time to give to anyone else because I'm constantly taking on other people's emotions. So it does become very overwhelming, and I do tend to experience emotions out of nowhere because of it. And it does get very exhausting. But of course, if I'm peaceful and tranquil, those are the moments that I truly appreciate. And I think that's why I like my alone time so much. There are times when, like now, I've been working on videos and just making time for myself, and I feel a sense of peace. And of course, also hanging out with my cats. I definitely suggest having a pet if you are someone who is empathetic, because they can take your energy that you have gotten from other people that you don't want anymore. They absorb that. They definitely do. So that would be a suggestion for anyone who is having troubles and doesn't know how to deal with the empathy that they are experiencing. The next one is many empaths are introverted. Empaths become overwhelmed in crowds, which can amplify their empathy. They tend to be introverted and prefer one to one contact or small groups. Even if an empath is more extroverted, they may prefer to limit how much they spend in a crowd or a party. That is definitely something I can relate to. I get very high social anxiety whenever it comes to being in a group of people, even if it is my own family. They know me so well, but I still get nervous and uncomfortable in a large group of people because I can sense their emotions. And when I sense people's emotions, I am going up and down like a roller coaster of emotions, because if someone's sad, I'll be sad. If someone is happy, I'll be happy. If someone is angry, and it's just up and down emotions, and sometimes it makes me shut down completely, and I don't know what to say or to do. So I do prefer one-on-one conversations. I feel like I have better, deeper conversations when it's one-on-one, and smaller groups for sure. It's easier for me to communicate in those smaller groups. The next trait is that empaths are highly intuitive. Empaths experience the world through their intuition. It is important for them to develop their intuition and listen to their gut feelings about people. This helps empaths find positive relationships and avoid energy vampires. This was something that I had talked to my very dear friend about. We always had gut feelings about people. And as we grew older, we talked about it more and more. And we realized that we had the same gut feelings about the same people, and we would try to warn others, and they would never listen to us. And in the end, we always ended up being right about that person. And we have called it our special power. That gut feeling has actually saved us a lot of heartbreak, because when my gut is telling me that something's wrong, I definitely want to avoid that person. And so far, my intuition has not been incorrect. So I'm definitely going to keep using that superpower. The next trait is that empaths need alone time. As super responders, empaths find being around people can be draining, so they need time alone to recharge. Even a brief escape prevents emotional overload. For example, empaths like to take their own cars when they go places so they can leave when they please. That's also extremely true for me. I really do enjoy my alone time, as I stated before, whether it's me working on crafts, doing these videos, or drawing. I have to have that time to process all the emotions and also release those emotions, because if I don't, it will tend to build up and then I will end up having a panic attack. I think that is a lot what that has to has to contribute to my anxiety. I am absorbing all kinds of emotions and I don't know what to do with all of them. So I have to have that alone time to process it. And it's okay to have some alone time and do something for yourself. It's all about your mental health and what you need to do to make yourself feel better. Empaths can become overwhelmed in intimate relationships. Too much togetherness can be difficult for an empath, so they may avoid intimate relationships. Deep down, they are afraid of being engulfed and losing their identity. For empaths to be at ease in a relationship, the traditional paradigm for being a couple must be redefined. I I would say, looking back on my relationships, maybe I did kind of have an issue with being in an intimate relationship. I never really thought of it before. But now that I do think about it, I was always really scared. And I guess, I mean, I was single for a very long time. And I just went on dates and nothing really stuck. And I always thought it was just because of the men that I encountered. But maybe part of it was because of me. I thought that I liked someone and then turned out that it wasn't what I thought it was. And I'm in a relationship now. It's the longest relationship I've ever been in. And I think it works really well because I still have kept my identity and I do have alone time and he has his alone time. We don't have to be together all the time. I mean, there are couples that are together all the time and that's great for them, but for me, I love him so much and I would enjoy spending every waking moment with him, but he understands that I do need my alone time. Empaths are targets for energy vampires, and empath sensitivity makes them particularly easy marks for energy vampires, whose fear or rage can sap their energy and peace of mind. These vampires may do more than drain an empath's physical energy. Especially dangerous ones, such as narcissists, can make empaths believe they're unworthy and unlovable. I definitely can see that. I don't know if I've ever really had an encounter with a narcissist in the past, but I can see why. I can see that empaths can be, well, I don't want to say, well, we're very sensitive people, so we could definitely be tricked and convinced easily. So I can see narcissists definitely taking advantage of someone who is empathetic. And I probably have seen that in the past. And it's such a horrible thing to witness. And I have a very hard time understanding a narcissist. I can't imagine not having empathy for someone. And I don't know if I would really want that. Yes, having empathy is very exhausting and tiring, but I'd rather feel something than feel nothing. Empaths become replenished in nature. The busyness of everyday life can be too much for an empath. The natural world nourishes and restores them. It helps them release their burdens and they can take refuge in the presence of green wild things, the ocean, or other bodies of water. Bodies of water are my favorite thing. Something about being near the ocean or by the lake or even by a river in a small stream, just the sound of water, it just brings so much peace and tranquility. And taking a shower. I mean, it's not the same as being by the ocean or anything, but something in the water. I feel like it just cleans my energy and it's just like I'm a new person. I definitely feel like water has some healing powers and I drink a lot of water. Drinking lots of water can help too. I mean, I am constantly drinking water I feel like it gives me more energy. And, sometimes when you're sad, it's like I'll take a sip of water, maybe I'll calm down. And I do love going on walks. And I used to love hiking, and I want to get back into that. And my boyfriend and I were talking about getting bikes so that we can ride bikes. Just being outside in the fresh air and also vitamin D from the sun is going to change your mood completely. And it will help you release everyone's emotions that you're experiencing. The next one is that empaths have highly tuned senses, and empaths' nerves can be frayed by noise, smells, or excessive talking. This is very true for me, especially when it comes to noise. I'm very sensitive to noise. I if someone I try not to be annoyed by it, but if someone is like shaking their leg or tapping something or clicking the pen, I am very sensitive to that. And I also get very sensitive when it comes to loud noises, especially out of nowhere. I get very scared. I jump, and I have a hard time in those situations. And I'm also sensitive to light, and that has a lot to do with my chronic pain, but I also feel like it has a lot to do with the type of person that I am. So, definitely having highly tuned senses is something that I experience. And the last one is that empaths have huge hearts, but sometimes they give too much. Empaths are big hearted people and try to relieve the pain of others. A homeless person holding a cardboard "I'm hungry" sign at a busy intersection, a hurt child, a distraught friend. It's natural to want to reach out to these people and ease their pain, but empaths don't stop there. They don't stop there. Instead, they take it on. Suddenly, they're the one feeling drained or upset when they felt fine before. This is definitely something I've always done. I always put everyone before me. Always. And I feel like I still do in some sense, but now I have become more aware of my needs, and I have been taking better care of myself. I make sure I get to the doctor and I take my meds, and I make sure I have that time in the morning for me to get ready for the day. And I also make sure I have my alone time where I can just decompress and let everything out. And I still do help others. If someone's having a bad day and I can tell, I'll ask them if they're okay, and then they open up to me, and I'm totally fine with that. It's just finding a balance. You don't want to go too far to where you give everything and you don't get anything in return. I've definitely, as I've grown older, found a way to still help others and be that empathetic person that I am, but also look out for myself, because I matter too. Not just everyone else, I matter. And if I don't take care of myself, I'm not going to be there for the people that need me. So I definitely have to have time for me. So I would say being an empath is definitely not a bad thing. Yes, there are issues with being empathetic where you just start feeling emotionally drained and physically tired. I mean, I'm exhausted all the time, especially after going through the pandemic and all kinds of things that happened in 2020. I not only felt what I was going through, but I felt everyone else's pain. And I would cry for other people and try so hard to help them. But there comes a time when you have to focus on yourself too, not just put everything into other people. You have to find a good balance when it comes to being empathetic. You can still help other people. I mean, that's one of the best qualities of an empathetic person. We are really good at helping others, whether it's just letting them vent or doing something for them. But you also have to find time for yourself. So I would definitely look at time management, setting limits and boundaries for those that you find are a little more draining than others. You could do yoga or use meditation to calm down, and definitely go into nature because that's when you get really grounded and you go get back to yourself. And also a hobby. A hobby, I don't know what to say about a hobby, but it's definitely something where you can find yourself and be yourself more and have that alone time and do something that you love. If you're thinking about doing something for yourself, go ahead and just do it because you deserve it. Especially if you're someone who is there for other people all the time, do something for you for a chance. So, that is my episode about empathy. And if you're someone who is like this, it's okay because you're actually making a huge change. But the best thing to do is to also focus on yourself. Definitely find that balance between helping others and helping yourself. So, thank you so much for joining me in this episode. And if you're interested in more taboo topics, please like and subscribe to my page. Thanks.